OJ died.
Oh, God, yes. Hi, everyone.
That's gonna date this episode, so everyone knows exactly the day we recorded this one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's what I woke up to this morning.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna kill me.
That was uncomfortable.
Yeah. I have a quick tangent, and we have a quick cutscene, so let's do that first.
Unica. Musha. Kadena. And you must be...
Oh, that's right. You two haven't been introduced yet. Hugo Fact. I just arrived at the tower and rejoined the search party recently, so I've not yet had the pleasure. Real quick, that's the other playable character that you get from the start. So you could play as Unica, who's more close combat because she like fights with an axe, or you could play as Hugo, who like shoots. He's got like a staff that like shoots like wizard.
He's got a pew pew
stuff. He has a pew pew, yeah. There is a third character too. It's the best character to play as, but these are the first two characters that you can play as. Seems quite a lot's happened in my absence. At any rate, it's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Unica Tova.
Ah, so you're the girl from House Tova then?
So what are you three doing here?
Well, take a look. And that's the tower that the other goddess was talking about.
A tiny tower connected by a suspended bridge. So that's Rado's Annex, huh?
Ah. Well, well.
How do you know what it's called? Hugo only just found that out himself. Oh,
Unica detailed her run-in with Lady Rhea. Interesting.
But why would Lady Rhea want to go to the top of tower?
I think the answer to that will have to wait. We've got Lady Fina within arm's reach here. We need to focus on securing her safety.
Oh, yeah. You are right, comrade. Of course, sorry.
Unica, was it? You seem to understand the situation, more or less, so I'll be brief. Freeing the goddess is of paramount importance, but it's not going to be as easy as just walking in there and picking a lock. I don't know what it is, but there's powerful energy emanating from the small tower, and, well, let's just say it's not wholesome.
Not wholesome?
Yes, as in not being wholesome. In other words, evil. Something in there is stronger than anything I've ever encountered before, and it's going to get in our way. Since we don't know exactly what's waiting for us in there, it would be unwise to rush in.
Somebody say Russian? Is there any way for us to find out what it is?
Not without putting someone in harm's way. We're kind of at a loss.
It's fine. I'll go check it out. What?
You've got to be kidding. Didn't you hear a word we just said? The atmosphere coming off of there is in the... Oh, I thought it was like he broke for like dramatic effect or something. Indescribable to one who can't use magic, but unsafe would be an understatement.
Okay. But what else can we do? We go see for ourselves what's in there, or we just stand around out here forever. I'll just run in, take a quick peek, and come back to let you guys know how it looks in there.
I don't like it, but I really can't argue. Promise me, though, if anything happens in there, you get the hell out pronto.
Understood.
In the meantime, I'll get in contact with Commander Galleon and the other knights and ask them to join us. No matter what's in there, I think it's a safe bet that having a few extra pairs of hands couldn't hurt.
Sounds good to me.
Alright then. Be careful, Unica.
Get that frickin' save point.
And off we go, just to take a quick peek. Yeah, she's probably totally not gonna just take a quick peek, but that was a cool cutscene.
Yeah, it was nice. Oh, god damn it. Of course she's locked in.
Yeah.
Seems a poor lost mouse has wandered its way into my little maze. How unfortunate for you. That was supposed to be a sultry voice, but I made it more like villainous.
I like it.
Oh. You're the woman who took Lady Fina. Is she all right? My, such a selfless concern for the goddess. When you yourself are in far worse predicament. That was worded weirdly. If you must know, she is safe and quite secure. She's been given all the amenities that a hostess such as I can provide, including an impenetrable magic barrier that seals away all her powers.
You bastard.
You bitch. Now that I get a good look at you, you really are a pitiful little thing. Pitiful? You're a descendant of one of those fabled priests, no? And yet you have no innate magical ability whatsoever. A sad excuse of an opponent you are. I'm not certain if I should laugh or cry. You must feel the same. At one time or another, I'm sure you've cursed your lot in life. Well, don't try to deny it. You've no doubt been through many hard times in Ys on account of your defiances. And you'll most assuredly continue to face such challenges. Quite possibly for the rest of your natural life. Yeah, maybe I will. But I took an oath to serve and protect our goddess. To serve and protect Ys. Because that's what I believe in. And nothing will ever change that. I will always be loyal to my goddess and my country. Magic or no magic. So call me pitiful all you want, but I know in my heart that I'm doing what's right. That's quite the rousing speech. I suppose you're beyond temptation. There's simply no reason to continue wasting my breath here. But since you did come all this way, please allow me to show you some hospitality. It's been rather boring guarding this lonely annex. I could use a good show.
Oh my god.
Oh, for the love of God, it has chains? Let's find out just how loudly you can scream.
I'm gonna take that last line you did, and I'm gonna find out the way that they made the voice of him from the Powerpuff Girls, and I'm gonna put that effect on it.
Oh, let's find out just how loudly you can scream.
Because when I think of a sultry character,
him pretty much covers it.
Yeah, him, Pegasus, I don't know who else.
Yeah, Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh did it pretty well too.
Oh yeah.
Like that guy's voice actor. Oh god, I wish I could pull it off more like that. Jesus. All right, so those turrets, whatever they are,
They're not taking
aren't getting
damage.
hurt. Maybe you need to change your weapon or your ability?
I don't think it really matters because when I hit the dude that keeps teleporting, I'm good. Doing a good amount of damage. I guess the turrets I just can't do anything about. Bam, 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 bam. But yeah, I had an anecdote I wanted to throw in real quick. Just kind of jumping around and doing voices. And a long time ago, and I call it a long time ago because it's a long time. It's a time I want to forget. I used to work for a call center, and I remember I was having this conversation with someone who was like a higher ranking employee than me, and they mentioned that when they used to work here, like a long time ago, they got really bored on occasion, so they would just, if somebody called in, they would just have like, they would start doing a voice like as if they have an accent, like they're from the South or something. And then they would just like do the whole call like that because the person on the other line has no idea that that's not their actual voice. Just to like entertain themselves, that's what they would do. And I can't help but think of that.
You know, I 100% approve of it. And if I were a supervisor, I'd be like, dude, as long as they understand you, I don't give a crap.
Extra points. Hey.
Yo, that's what's up.
Get your guardian gatekeeper bosses out of here. Yeah. So, I don't like switching around different voices. It's kind of tough for me because I forget. But yeah.
I did it. No, this can't be. How could you have defeated my beautiful familiar? Oh, that was your familiar.
And quite easily.
See? That's one of the benefits of having no magical ability. I got in lots of practice with my trusty battle axe and my dad's sword. I may be a mouse compared to you when it comes to enchantments, but I'm the buffest, meanest mouse you'll ever see. That's right, you tell her.
I'm gonna put in a picture of a mouse that's like all brolic and stuff.
Impudent little bitch. You think physical strength alone affords you merit? God damn. If you're to be put in your place, I guess I'll have to fight you myself.
That's enough, Zava.
But who's there? Lord Dallas?
You are to withdraw from this location. They can have Rado's annex.
Yes, my lord, but...
Do not question my orders. There are preparations to be made.
You mean...
Yes, and I need your assistance. Come to the tower summit immediately.
Understood, my lord. I'll be there post-haste. Wait! Unikatova, was it? Next time we finish this, make sure you're ready for me.
Ew. See, I'm not great at voices, but I could do sound effects.
Why would they withdraw? That doesn't make any sense. What's going on here? All right, check to see if the door is... Yeah, it's still
Sealed.
Fuck.
There's only a couple of floors to the tower, so shouldn't be that bad. I think what we're coming up is that the other goddess is still gonna be up there, and we're gonna have another cutscene.
Oh, this doesn't look good at all. Even I can tell there's some powerful magic coming off of this door. Gives me the creeps. Guess this is where Lady Fina's being held.
Hold it! It's the B Squad. Thank goodness. The seal on the entrance finally broke. And we didn't know what we were going to find in here.
Kadena? I'm sorry if I worried you.
I mean, there wasn't really much that she could do. She just walked in and all this happened. It's okay. I'm just glad you're safe. As soon as the barrier popped up behind you, I'll admit I assumed the worst. She did. But I should have known better. You are Commander Tova's daughter, after all. I did kind of use the Lila shell to tell Galleon what happened, though.
I definitely would have preferred you not do that. I was watching from outside when you showed up to Zava Portson. You were amazing, Unica.
Personally, I was more surprised than anything. You owe a lot to good fortune, I believe.
Haha.
Well, I'd better shell in another report before anyone starts to panic. I'm sure they'll all welcome the good news. In the meantime, I think you should all get to work on that door.
Huh? What's wrong with the door?
Well, suffice to say, it has eyes.
Yeah, quite literally.
No, it's not that sort of door that just opens. You feel it too, Hugo, right? I do. It's undoubtedly the source of the malicious energy we sensed outside. The enchantment placed upon it is so powerful that simply being in its presence is making my hairs stand on end.
What? Seriously?
Unica, let me put it to you like this. Ow!
Ah. Yeah. Hugo.
Just as I thought. An extremely potent curse has been placed upon this door. Do you recognize it, Kadena? Well, let's see. Gah! Yeah, that's powerful, all right. Frankly, I don't know how you can still be standing after touching it, Hugo. Getting in won't be an easy task in the slightest. Truth be told, I'm not sure we'll be able to open it at all.
What? What do you mean?
Well, to put it simply, you've got to be a demon if you want to get in there, or at least have some demonic energy in you. It absolutely, positively will not open for anyone who doesn't exhibit some degree of demonism.
So you've got to be one of the bad guys? And Lady Fina's in there. Isn't there anything we can do, Kadena?
Well, if we had some of the holy water from Solomon's shrine, maybe. Or maybe I'm going about this all wrong. What if instead of breaking the curse, we tricked it into thinking we're demons? Theoretically, if we got our hands on one of the enemy's magic artifacts, we might just stand a chance.
What kind of artifact?
Something with an equivalent curse on it. If one of us touches the door while wearing a cursed artifact, it might just be enough to get the damn thing open. That's preposterous. A curse that strong would kill whoever wore it within moments. Yeah, I know. It's not a perfect solution by any means, but it's an idea at least. There's gotta be some way to make it work.
Alrighty, so now we need to dress up as a demon.
We have to do demon cosplay. Yeah.
Alright. Well, looks like we gotta look for something.
Oh man. What are the chances that I already have it? I will say that's a really cool looking door.
It definitely is. Yeah, I'm just wondering if we actually need to go back into the main tower and try to find something. Something's telling me yeah, but that's gonna suck.
We probably do. I'm sure whatever it is like relatively close. Remember, there's like so the thing with this game is it is really linear, but there are some branching paths. So like this was just one of the ways that we went out of other possibilities of where we could have gone. So like I think we came from here. Yeah, we came from down here. And then I went up and to the right, which was good because then we got to that cutscene. But we can also go left. Let me see. Nope, that just goes back there. Okay, so there's one other way we could go. Let's check that. I also want to quickly mention too is that this year Yeast 10 is coming out worldwide.
Oh
So,
yes.
Yeah, I went ahead and put in my pre-order for it. Now the thing is that this time around there wasn't a cool collector's edition that you can get for Yeast, which was kind of disappointing because there is one if you pre-ordered it in Japan, but for some reason here we didn't get anything. So it's literally just the game that I got to pre-order, and I couldn't have any other cool stuff with it. I try not to do collector's editions because they're expensive, but for games I really like, I always make an exception, you know. But I couldn't do it. Now, funny enough, I have a friend that is currently in Japan for well over a month, and that friend is actually looking out for some stuff for me. So there's a chance that I'll still be able to get the Yeast 10 Collector's Edition, even if, you know, even if I'm not going to play it in Japanese, I'm still going to play my American version. But yeah, like I found it unfortunate that you couldn't go ahead and get that Collector's Edition over here, you know? Ooh.
It's funny you say that because my brother on the 21st is flying out to Japan, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I guess I could tell him as well, like if our other friend doesn't find anything, I can tell my brother, hey, look out for Yeast 10 stuff, because my buddy wants the collector's edition stuff for that.
Yeah. It would be really nice. I mean, I don't need it, but it would be really cool. We could, of course, do an unboxing of it and stuff, but they just chose not to do it. And they had, like, from the looks of it, their collector's edition had some pretty cool stuff. They had, like, it had, like, a backpack and things that you usually don't get. You usually don't get with the collectors. I feel like a lot of the times, just the way gaming has been lately, collector's editions have kind of gotten very samey, and it's a lot of the same stuff. It's your game, your art book, maybe a CD with some music on it, and maybe like a pin or an emblem or some kind of like tiny kind of figure type thing, right? Some like plastic based ornament, whatever. But they're like always the same, and I'm just like, man, I miss when there was people were really thinking outside of the box for the collector's editions that they do, you know, like Fallout New Vegas, you got a whole set of casino equipment. You got cards and chips. It was really nice. Now, the thing with the New Vegas one, I've complete FOMO on that because I could have bought it, but I didn't want to. I chose not to. And now, if you want to get the collector's edition of Fallout New Vegas, it's like $300 for someone on eBay, you know? And it's like,
Rip.
fuck. Yeah. But,
That's so unfortunate.
do you have any experience with collector's editions?
I've always shied away from them because I never felt like they were worth it. I remember when we were still in college at the fighting game club, our buddy Skip was able to get like a bunch of these collector's editions, especially like for the fighting games. And he brought the collector's edition for, I believe it was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And they were supposed to give you like the Infinity Stones or whatever. And like they came with all that shit. I remember seeing them and thinking to myself, wow, they really cheaped out because they just look like little plastic eggs. Like, what the hell is this? Like, I personally would have felt really upset. Now, when we unbox some of your stuff, like your previous Yeast stuff, or what's that other game? The game that came with that tank?
Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, Valkyria Chronicles. I was like, hey, these are kind of more worth it. But when it comes to other games, I just really I haven't seen any collector's edition stuff that I look at and I'm just like, yeah, I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't really have a lot of room in my
Yeah.
room. Like, my mother came into my room and said, yeah, you have too many figures. And I have to look at her and tell her, so like half of them were gifted to me. So it's not like, I chose to get them
Yeah.
half the time. So we're thinking about putting up a glass shelf for me to like put up some stuff
Oh, nice.
at the very least
Those
because
are
we
those are
have the
always really
materials for
good.
it. Yeah, we have materials for it, so that's what I'm thinking about doing now. It's just a pain in the ass because the only spot I can think of where I could put them, well, technically I have two spots, but they're not necessarily comfortable. And you know where my TV is?
Yeah.
Basically above my TV. That's what I'm thinking, but it's like it's such a pain in the ass to get to. And then over my closet is another spot, but then it's like, do I really want it over my closet? I don't know.
Yeah.
My room
Space
is
is.
weird.
I said expensive was one of the reasons that I try to shy away from them, but space is the other reason. It's like the collector's editions are great, but man, like one of them takes up so much room. And when you started talking about the experience of someone from the gaming club we used to be a part of, I thought you were going with this other story because I had a friend in the gaming club that he bought a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the collector's edition, and it was like all brand new and shiny. And literally, like, what, a couple months later, they announced that they were just going to put out Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and that game was now Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Vanilla was now defunct. And he was fucking pissed. And I kind of get that. And, it's just like sometimes you have a potential to really get burned. What I don't like that they do sometimes is that they lock content or access to betas behind collector's editions. So Tecmo Koei put in a beta or like a pre-alpha demo or whatever for Dead or Alive 5 that you had to buy the collector's edition of Ninja Gaiden 3. And it's like, at that point I had never played a Ninja Gaiden game in my life. I certainly never played the modern ones. I didn't really want to, but they weren't putting the demo out any other way that I knew, so I was like, look, I'm a Dead or Alive fan. I want to get this game because let's be honest, as a gamer, when you hear that there's a beta or a demo, like you want to just play that game like as soon as possible. And
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I bought the collector's edition, and it was like immediately I realized how this was kind of a giant ripoff and scam the way they did it. The game was fine. I ended up playing it. It wasn't anything crazy, and it was also, mind you, again, it was the third in like a series, so I'm already joining the story late. But I really just got it because I wanted to play Dead or Alive, and I'm like, man, I don't need all this. I can't even remember what it came with. I think it was like a Hayabusa statue, and then some of like the basic stuff, art book, CD, and then the game and the code that you get if you want to join the beta or the demo, the alpha, whatever. So yeah, I love collector's editions. If my buddy's able to get that collector's edition of Ys 10, I would be happy to own it. I'm not even gonna cancel my pre-order for the American version. I'm still just gonna get it. I just want a copy of it. We'll definitely unbox it for the channel. It's just I don't know if he's gonna be able to find it and bring it back at this point.
I was thinking of like the best scenario would just be him being able to get all the extra stuff and not the game, because that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Hell, we could even check like Japanese eBay and be like, oh, I wonder if anybody's like just selling it.
Yeah.
Like the pieces that come with it. Because I don't know if I told you this before. You mentioned Pegasus earlier from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Do you remember that board game they played in the anime? Dungeon Dice Monsters?
Oh man, it's been so long, but that does ring a bit of a bell. Yeah.
So there was this flashy looking guy, Duke Devlin, he was upset at Yugi because he beat Pegasus and Pegasus kind of went into exile,
Uh-huh.
and then challenged him to a game based off of duel monsters, and he called it Dungeon Dice Monsters, where you roll the dice and then you use the dice to like summon a monster.
Mm-hmm.
So they made that into a real life board game. And my brother and I were obsessed with the idea of playing it. But we lived in the Dominican Republic at the time, so there was absolutely no way we were going to get it. They had the ink, they had the cards, they just did not have anything extra. So when it came to wanting to play it, we just emulated the GBA and played the GBA version. But as we got older, for like my brother's for Christmas, I said, I wonder if someone has like the starter set at the very least
Mm-hmm.
for Dungeon Dice Monsters. Went on eBay, someone had it quote unquote complete, right?
Yeah.
So I bought it, got it, opened it up, looked at everything. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, there's a few pieces missing. I wonder if the guy just forgot. Messaged the guy said, wait a minute, it's not complete. And I said, yeah, it's not. He said, here's your money back, keep it.
Oh, nice.
What? So then I found someone online selling all the pieces I needed and then some. So I bought that shit and I basically got the whole starter set for like $15
Nice.
instead of like the 40 I paid for the supposedly complete. So that's why I'm thinking we could probably find you the pieces of like the of what came with the collector's edition just by going on Japanese eBay.
And get my money back, apparently.
I mean, dude, if you're lucky. I got lucky because any other seller would have been like, oh, I'm so sorry, let me give you a partial refund.
Yeah.
Or they would have been like, oh, send it back, or whatever. Like, no, this guy literally just gave it to me for free.
So now you could play the game like whenever you want, basically. Is it
Pretty much.
is it still a card game, or is it now a board game?
It's a board game, but it still has cards. So this is how Dungeon Dice Monsters work. They have their own special dice, and then you have like a counter to keep track of like which symbols on the dice you roll, because it's not a regular dice with numbers. They have symbols. So there's an attack crest that has like a sword. There's like a magic crest. There's a defense crest, and so on and so forth. And then there are 3 different colors: blue, red, yellow. And each one gives you more or less of each crest. And whenever you roll, you basically say, oh, I got this much magic crest. I'm going to keep count of it. And then I'm going to use some of it to summon this monster. The monster has its own monster piece, like a little piece that you move around the board. And then you also have a card to tell you what it does. So it's still sort of a card game. You still have the cards for it. So yeah, you have to keep track of whatever you rolled. They give you like a thing to keep count of it. You then have to spend those things you used for attacks, for summoning, and then you have to sort of build a bridge from your side of the board to your opponent's side of the board using opened up boxes. Like, how can you unfold a box? They give you pieces for every way you can open up a box. Like a 6-sided box. And you have to basically be smart of like, oh, I want to use the long piece. I want to use like the curvy piece here or whatever. And your opponent has to do the same thing. It's fun. Unfortunately, it never caught on anywhere, either in Japan or the US.
Mm-hmm.
So they released a few blind bags. In Japan, they released a few more. So what I ended up doing is I looked up the Japanese cards, translated them, printed them, and then put them all in sleeves with like a Magic the Gathering card, to back it. And then I basically created my own pieces by using DIY board game creation stuff. Like, dead ass, I took the official art of the monsters that I needed, put them on like these little cardboard things, and then put like little standees on them. And I told my brother, look, we can use whatever piece that's ever been created. We just have to sort of recreate it and print out the stuff. So we can basically play it however the hell we want now.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, again, that's really cool. I think that comes back to the conversation we were having like an episode ago, almost of like customizing stuff. But we're at a time for this episode, and we appreciate you guys hanging around while we talk about various subjects. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Absolutely.
But until next time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on episode 18.
That's right, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.